All right, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to the Collision Repair Refinish stage driven by iCar and SCRS. We're here at SEMA 2025, and we're going to talk a little bit now about Registered Apprentice Program. Repair planning is the next one. So this is going to be about Registered Apprentice Programs. I am Bud Center, Director of Technical Products with iCar, and to my left.
My name is Jay Ganinen. I am co-founder at Wrenchway.
My name is Trish Ostrander. I'm the training administrator at Gustafson Brothers in Huntington Beach, California.
My name's Dara Goroff, and I'm the Vice President of Product Strategy for iCar.
Jesus Guerrero, Director of Product Management for Talent.
All right, so Jay, I'm going to start with you. You know, as I go out into the industry, and you know that I chair a committee for CIC called the Talent Pool and Education Committee. We have the students in, we've had them on a bunch of different panels, and a lot of things that we hear are things like, we don't understand the path, what's possible, what's out there. What can we do to better educate people on what are the collision careers out there, what's available?
You know, it's a funny question for me because I started my career off as a technician, and I had no idea coming up through the industry that there were the opportunities out there that really are abundant in all of our shops and industry as a whole. So I think it really is about kind of creating that awareness, and we can do that in a number of different ways, but I'm a big fan of sharing stories about the industry and about people in the industry and how many successful people we have, right? When you look at lead technicians in a shop, some of their paths of how they got there are really, really fascinating. And on top of that, I think just even being able to see what that technical base level of knowledge will do for you can really, really help. It's just our job as an industry to be able to create more awareness behind that. We can do that in a number of different ways, but I think telling stories and really being able to get people access to those stories is what's really, really important.
So one of the things that's out there that everybody goes to when they're looking for work is a job board, right? But we tend to see, at least especially in the collision or automotive space, you tend to see employers that'll put out there, I have a position available and it's full-time, and that's it. What can people do to better utilize job boards and use things like that as a tool for recruiting and getting people into their business?
Kind of the same thing there, right? Showing visibility to what a job looks like. We at Wrenchway were able to partner with the fine folks at iCar and Collision Careers to be able to really put together a job board that I think shares all of the fine details of what you're looking for in a career. And I think that's maybe a little bit different because a lot of times in current status, if you were to go to one of the major job boards, it doesn't give you a whole lot of information, right? So being able to give that potential technician, especially on the entry level, which is where we're at, the ability to do their due diligence and see what the differences are in shops, because it doesn't matter, you know, if we're doing the same thing in each of our shops, there's different ways that we're going about it, and all shops are different. All shops' personalities are different. You really have to showcase to that good young technician why you're a good place to work.
So Dara, we've worked a ton, you and your team especially at iCar, trying to make the Collision Careers site and everything that we have there different. What are we doing different to help the industry with this problem?
I'm really glad you asked. I think there are three major ways where the Collision Careers website is very different from anything else out there, both from a job board perspective, but also from the perspective of a resource for the collision repair industry to be able to attract talent, to be able to show talent those stories that speak to the potential of our industry. We know so many people who started their careers as technicians who are advanced in our industry now, and they're chairing committees, and they're influencing the future of our space, and Collision Careers was built to be able to showcase that success. On the job board side, major differences include that we really do focus on the entry-level technician and the apprentice technician looking to move into a registered apprenticeship. So in that case, we do not have anyone poaching a seasoned and favorite tech from another shop. In that case also, We showcase what is distinctive and special about a shop's culture, about a shop's salary progression. We allow the shop owners to show pictures and video of what a day in the life of their shop looks like, and even talk about the benefits like insurance and bonuses and 401k plans in a very different down-to-earth way than you'll find in any other job out there. But ours is 100% focused on attracting talent for collision repair. No other industries.
Can I add one thing to what you just said there, too?
No.
No, I'm getting shut down again. I think this is what Dara had mentioned was one of the really important factors, which is maybe taking more of that long-form approach from a shop standpoint and knowing that, hey, if there aren't enough people in our industry, what are we going to do to attract more? I don't think the right way to go about this is constantly taking a tech from you to give to, and then that person's going to take a tech from you and you're going to take a tech from me. It's kind of this circus or this merry-go-round of talent, when at the end of the day, if we really focus on the core issue, which is to get more in and retain and keep the ones we have already happy, that's where I think we make a lot of progress.
All right, so Trish, I want to move the question to you now. Having been in the industry as long as I have, and I'm going to guess that most of us have been in here for a while, collision repairers are notoriously bad at starting apprentice programs and mentor programs and running these kind of things. What kind of things can a shop do, just some practical steps to get something like this started? And really a two-part question, and then how do you kind of overcome some of the hurdles, the obstacles that they're going to run into?
Well, we took it head on. We started Gustafson Brothers Training Academy almost 5 years ago, and we were struggling. And when ICAR came to us and approached us about piloting the Academy program, it was just like the stars aligned, because we already had a great instructor, but we really needed curriculum for for the youth. It was so interesting to see them, just devouring these badges. And so I would say that you have to have a good culture, like Jay said. We definitely make sure that we have that. We're aligned with one another. We call each other our tribe, and so we really want them to do well. So the academy really started out really great for us. We had 5 go through it immediately, and we were just like, wow, this is the answer that we're looking for. So I think for most shops to do, I would say just start with one. Start with one if you're a small shop, and see what you can come out with. We really are in tune to building the next generation. So we go after the next gen in many areas in our community. We know that's the answer to our industry, is to build within. And so we are really excited about the ICAR Registered Apprenticeship Program that we just started with ICAR, which is so amazing. And they have made this so simple. So for shops, I would say, don't hesitate. This is not scary. It's not something that's going to take a bunch of your time. And let's see what we can do in every little area. Like, we have our own pilot pod in our area, but we need all champion shops across the United States and globally to be on board with this, because the tech shortage is already here. So we focus on the next gen big time. So we are also familiar with Jay's and Collision Careers. So we host our website and have everything on there for the top shop as well. So we're aligned across the board for everybody to get on the job boards and to see what's available for them. So we make it very simple.
Great. So I know that Gustafson Brothers, hey, you had your program before we even came out with our academy curriculum. When we built that academy curriculum, it was very intentionally designed to be very modular, to be very small, so that somebody gets a little nugget of classroom knowledge and then they go out and apply, and it's constantly back and forth so that they don't get that, oh my God, I'm in class all day long kind of thing, and get it going. How much of a difference does that make in your program, having something like that is, so structured, but also very modular so that you can teach it in smaller pieces?
What we did is we broke it down. So we have them do 1 hour of the curriculum and 1 hour of hands-on so that they don't get overwhelmed by just sitting behind a computer working through the modules. Most of the young generation like to be hands-on, full-time hands-on. But we had somebody that had a few years in the industry, and he went on the academy, and he said, I learned so much from that. So just because you have somebody that's been in the industry a few years doesn't mean that they can't learn from being through the academy, for sure.
So down to you, Jesus. You don't get to sit there just looking pretty through this whole thing. So what tools have you and your team put together to help somebody get kind of a fast track start, to jumpstart, get in there and put their own apprentice program together?
Well, besides building out the academy curriculum, which basically maps out exactly what a technician should take to establish those foundational level type courses, we've also really removed steps from the process on the application side of the apprentice program. So if anybody's been involved with applying for a registered apprentice program, it's a process. It is a process, and we actually have dedicated resources to actually manage that process. So in all reality, a shop, as long as they meet certain standards and qualifications, you basically make one call and we basically take care of the rest for you. And that is, if anybody has a really clear understanding of what's involved, it took our team about a year to get approval from the DOL. We also had our curriculum development team also help with the application process. It was just a pretty complex process, but now we have dedicated resources, and we've really streamlined the process for any shop to go ahead and jump onto our registered apprentice program. So I think that really has changed the game for a lot of the shops out there.
Yeah, and I think, and I know Dara wants to jump in, I could tell. But I think we also need to make sure that everybody is aware that, you know, the curriculum that we're talking about is focused on the 5 core skills that the industry told us were important. They said for the initial 5 skills, we want them to understand disassembly, reassembly, small dent repair,
Plastic repair,
Prep
and
for
fundamentals.
refinish.
and prep for refinish. And they said, if you can get me, you know, people that can do those core things, we'll hire every one of them. So that's what we focused on with the initial academy curriculum.
Yeah, and I can't emphasize enough what Jesus said about ICAR wanting this to be easy for our employers and our shops. We are very, very proud to have received appreciation from the Department of Labor to function as a national apprenticeship hub, meaning that we take care of the interaction between an employer and the Department of Labor. So just like Jesus says, we have a dedicated resource, but that resource administers the program for an employer, and we're able to do that for a single shop to a large multi-shop operator, so they don't have to worry about submitting to the Department of Labor. They have regular reporting requirements. We help out with those reporting requirements, and our administrator also helps shops to find other grants and possible tax credits that may be available to them in their state to help really pay for the onboarding and training of an entry-level technician. It is different from state to state. There is no guarantee of receiving a grant, but we've been very successful making our employers in the program understand what's available to help support them.
You looked like you had something you wanted to add. No, you good?
I do. I want to say that I can say it has been so easy to have this ICAR registered apprenticeship program. I'm usually the administrator for everything that we do via training. It has been so simple, and I just can't tell you guys thank you enough. And Jennifer Gray has been amazing. And I'm telling you, shops, you don't have a headache with this, and it's been so nice. Thank you so much.
So I want to go back a little bit to the job boards and talk about that just a little bit more. So one of the other things that I hear from students that are coming out of the schools and going into the shops, one of the things that I hear the most from them is that culture at the shop is among the most important things to them. So when you think about how shops are marketing themselves and they're using these job boards to attract people, what can they do to help people better understand the type of culture, the environment, what the shop is all about using the job boards?
I'll go to start off with. I think that is such an important element for a young person, even when they don't realize it's an important thing, right? A lot of times when we're first coming out of school, we might solely focus on that entry level salary. And I've had a lot of conversations with young people around making sure you get in the right shop from the start. And that right shop might not be the same for every student, right? There's different shops and really kind of different approaches to their mentorship, how they onboard, how they get you in. And so, first and foremost, I think it's really, really important for a student that's graduating to understand what they're getting themselves into. And I think in a lot of cases, that student might not feel comfortable asking those questions that they need to ask to really understand what they're signing up for. So, whether it's our job board or any type of content that you put out, shops can do these young techs a favor by creating more visibility to what their culture is and helping that student or that young person entering the industry help them understand what they should be looking for in a culture. You should be looking for good leadership. You should be looking for somebody that maybe isn't going to put all that production pressure on you right off the bat. Somebody that's actually going to take some time and teach you and continue on your training from more of your formal education into what you're getting into in the shop. So for me, it's all about painting visibility to what your shop is doing and showing off those personalities too, right? I think so many shops have great personalities that never get seen because there's no visibility to them. So the more as a shop you can kind of show off your culture, I think the better off you are, not only for those entry-level techs, but for your customers. I think customers love seeing that as well. So a lot of opportunities out there to showcase your culture.
Yeah, Trish, what do you guys do at your shop to help
A lot.
people understand your culture?
Well, I loved when Wrenchway put out the Top Shop because I went around and I took video and photos of everything we do. Not just what we do on a daily basis as work, what we do for fun. So we have a massive wheel of fortune that we spin, and everybody loves that. It's huge, and we spend that for birthdays and work anniversaries and Help First and CSIs and surveys, 5 stars, everything like that. I also go around and show the funny things we do, the trending social media that we do. We do have pretty much a young shop, and so the culture we have is Help First and world class above all, but we do want to show that we are there for them. What I've seen in the many, many surveys that I've done through a lot of new techs is that they're interested in many things, but usually money's not the top. Money is usually not the top one. They want work flexibility. They want to actually be able to spend time with their families and also have time for their hobbies. They want to ensure that they have vacation time. And then they're concerned about the pay. They want to see if this is a shop that they can be heard at and be a part of the process in everyday work. Yeah. And so that's something that we work on.
So, Jesus, I'm going to drop this back to you or Dara. Either one of you guys could answer this. One of the other things that I hear consistently from entry-level technicians is one of the biggest drivers in success or fulfillment, enjoying their job, is their mentor, the mentor tech. What kind of tools do we have? What have we developed to help a shop identify and train a mentor so that they can effectively manage these entry-level techs?
So we have several courses available. We have 9 courses available for team leadership and mentor building. It's everything from identifying a mentor to becoming a mentor to team effectiveness courses. So we have training there, right? But we also have selection criteria for an actual mentor. And a lot of times it's not an exact science. Being a mentor, there's a teaching gene associated with those mentors, and there's a lot of observation. So we give tips and tricks on that as well. We have some collateral out there. And for instance, I know Trish, she's also done a tremendous job of identifying mentors, but in addition to that, we've also partnered with a different organization, CCI, in which we actually offer mentor assessments, entry-level tech assessments. We actually offer pairing assessments, like are these two people going to work out together? So we actually have a partnership with CCI to help deliver some of these different assessments. And I know Trish has used them, other shops have used them, and it's amazing because the output of that, once you actually take a mentor assessment or an entry-level tech assessment, you literally end up with an 8 to 10 page dossier on each individual, strengths and weaknesses, what they need to work on, gaps, and also just kind of caution flags, right? And it properly informs them on how to guide a mentor, or especially a shop team leader. I mean, there's a lot of tools that we offer.
I think that is such an underrated part of what you guys offer. And the reason I say that is I think a lot of what our industry struggles with is because of lack of leadership, right? And a lot of times we don't get the proper training and the proper education. When you talk about mentorship, one real quick story that I had when I was running a shop was I had just come on in a leadership role, came into this dealership, and they were bragging about their mentorship program. I walk out to the shop and I'm having conversations with my new team. And I said, hey, Jim, I heard so many good things about you being a mentor and you're mentoring this young person. He turns to me and goes, what are you talking about? Like, you don't know that you're the mentor? Like, you are the mentor. You don't even know you're the mentor. So just a lot of things to prepare and maybe have a little bit more structure there. Really, really important.
Yeah, and I would also add on to that, I know our curriculum development team, they've also focused on some of those soft skills. Recognition. How do you recognize that entry-level tech? How do you treat them? How do you motivate them? What kind of KPIs? How do you measure them? Because a lot of them want to be measured as well, as far as from an effectiveness standpoint. So we try to surround this with a more holistic solution from a mentor and a mentee, that, you know, we're trying to make sure that we're pairing the right people with the right organization, as well as just the right, pairings is just key to the success of this particular program.
Yeah, so I want to double down on something that Jesus said a little bit earlier and then build off of something Jay said as well. We really thoughtfully built our apprentice program to make sure that not only did we include the curriculum related to mentorship and apprenticeship, but we partnered with effective organizations to be able to do that matching and culture assessment. It can sometimes be a little painful to think, oh my gosh, maybe I have to do something to help my culture be more attractive to young employees, to entry-level employees. But the best thing about a culture assessment that is given as part of ICAR's Register Apprenticeship Package is it gives you the direct steps to take, baby steps, low-hanging fruit to improve culture, attract more people and talent. And the greatest thing about the ICAR curriculum, the Developing an Employer Brand course, is once you take that course, it opens up access to the job board free for life. So you can list as many positions as you have available to bring entry-level or apprentice talent to your shop forever on Collision Careers once you've taken a very short course that really leans into help you to talk about the culture you already have. So as Trish says, it is very easy, it is very accessible, and we want to take small things and make them better and better so that if a young tech in your local area is thinking, do I join your shop? Do I join the shop across the street? You will win every single time.
Great. So we're getting to the latter part of this conversation. We're going to have to get ready to land this ship here real soon. But I wanted to go to each of you here and just kind of a closing question, okay? So if you were talking to a shop that was going to consider starting a registered apprentice program, what type of things would you say to them as just advice to get started? And I'll start all the way down at the end with Jesus. He looked like he was getting lonely.
Can I say call Trish? 'Cause that's exactly what I would do.
That's good advice.
No, with that, it's just, I think Trish really nailed, basically she said, start with one. You got to start the process. Obviously, we have courses. I know operationalization of this process can be, there's definitely some learnings involved in that, but just start with one, identify a mentor, identify an apprentice. It could be somebody that just has that potential, and that's really where I would go. Just start with one and start small and act fast, right? But I just always go back to what Trish has told me, because that's basically how she's going. And I don't know how many apprentices you've now run through the program, but you've been pretty successful at this.
We have. we have had. Well, I'll let Dara speak. Then I'll go.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So we originally had 8 we did through the academy, and now we have 3 in the three in the registered apprenticeship program, and 1 that's in the academy and the RAP. So it'll be 9 almost.
So if you were talking to a shop and saying, this is what you need to do to get started, how would you start?
Well, Jesus stole my comment. No, I really always just say start with 1, because I've spoke to a lot of shop owners and they get nervous. Like, how do I start? What do I start? What do I do? So I always just say start with 1. You don't have to have 8 like us or 5 or whatever. Just start with 1 and get them on the academy. Well, right now you can get them through the academy and the RAP at the same time, correct? Yes.
Absolutely.
So yeah, just get them on there. And main thing I would say is structure your time so that you can have hands-on and the curriculum, so they don't get overwhelmed with too much curriculum at first, which is the badges. So they're on live work. They're still working in your shop. They're on live work. That's what they're doing their hands-on for. They'll do their curriculum. They'll do their labs. Just get on it. It's not as scary as it thinks, and you're going to have your shop be a registered apprenticeship program. So we're thrilled about that.
Jay?
For me, it's the intentionality at an early age. We had a conversation earlier about how often our shops have a tendency to really lay out the red carpet for anybody that's got interest in our shops and wanting to get into this industry. And I think we maybe lack a little intentionality at that young age in terms of being selective of who you're bringing into your shop, because so much of what you're going to do with that person is an investment in that person. So whether it's training or the time that you're going to spend with them, the mistakes they're going to make along the way, everything that goes along with it, it is an expensive thing, right? Like to bring somebody up. So have some intentionality over the process in which you're bringing young people in and your selection process of how you're looking at those people. You're going to spend a lot of time and money on those people. Make sure it's the right people.
And Dara, back to you.
So I get to land the ship with Bud. That is amazing. My one thing that I would tell a shop owner is you are not alone. It can seem really overwhelming to think about Department of Labor and registered apprenticeship, but ICAR is here for you. We have assembled an incredible cast of supporters through the industry who want to support as well. Trish gives very willingly of her time talking through how things have worked at her shop, but we have others as well, because we don't want to overburden this lovely lady with too much attention. And the thing is, once you get in your mind to do this, it will bring talent to your shop that you wouldn't even imagine. We had one shop owner who told us that within 2 days of putting on his social media that he was part of a Department of Labor registered apprenticeship, he had 5 times the number of candidates trying to get into a shop that he had seen the day before. It was incredible for him. Take things in baby steps. You do not have to do everything at once. If you want to get experience with the ICAR Academy curriculum first, go for it. If you want to talk to us about registered apprenticeship before you get a taste of the curriculum, go for it. If you know that you have some great mentors in your shop and you want to talk about mentorship or team leadership first, go for it. We will make the rest of the decisions easy for you, and we will help you every single step of the way.
And if I can add, so another thing that ICAR, obviously, we're doing this on a first come, first serve basis. So we are helping shops with the startup process. This includes tools, assessments, help with the curriculum. And again, this is available on a first come, first serve basis as far as various incentives. So we're here to get this jump started.
All right, so I know I said that was going to be the last question, but I lied.
Last.
So because I thought about something here, and I'm going to push it right back over to my buddy Jesus at the end, because I think we missed something that some of the shops may have question about. What about our cross-credentialing and the fact that when these students come through the academy curriculum, how does that apply to their professional learning?
So at the shop level, we actually offer those five badges, those 5 core badges that we spoke about earlier. And we offer 20 cross credits to the professional side of the fence. And what we do there is mostly leaning on the non-structural tech, so on a path to structural tech. So 20 altogether. but we definitely cover quite a bit of the base on the non-structural tech role.
Yeah. So the bottom line is if they take it in academy, they don't have to take it again and get in professional.
Correct.
So, all right. Well, that wraps us up here. Thank you, everybody, for joining us up here today, having
you.
this conversation. Everybody out there, have a great day.
Thank you, Bud.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
everybody.